Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here at Virtuoso Travel Week, as I always am every year at this time in August, and it's been a marvelous show so far. We're only in the third day right now, and look who I caught up with now, the really new Chief Executive Officer of Ponant, Sam Chamberlain, and I've got to know Sam pretty quickly in the business. We've hung out, and we've come across each other a lot. And actually, I just got back from a wonderful cruise on Le Ponant, the original ship, and we're going to talk about that. But we're going to talk to Sam about Ponant today, what attracted him to the line, and a whole lot more on Insider Travel Report. First of all, Sam, great to see you here, and we've hung out. We've been together a few times since you began. And how long have you been at Ponant now?
Yeah, great. Thanks, James. Great to be here at Travel Week. I've been here for 4 months now with Ponant leading the Americas.
Oh, wow. So that's quick. So what attracted you to Ponant in the first place? What was the reason you decided to take the post?
You know, I think with Ponant, the opportunity of 14 ships, a great shareholder, our true exploration DNA, to me, really attracted how the opportunity for the Americas and telling that story to travel advisor partners, consumers, and really bringing the brand more to life in this market.
No, and it's great. And I have been lucky enough to be on Ponant a lot over the last few years. Amazing product. Now, where do you position Ponant today? Where? I mean, is it? Sometimes I sort of short shift to say it's luxury expedition. Is it something more?
I say luxury expedition, but I also say exploration, because I don't want people to necessarily think that Ponant is polar only. We have 460 different itineraries across 110 different destinations. We literally service every key geography, every key market in a very explorative way, but with that luxury French flair service delivery.
And that's what really is the secret sauce, and it is amazing. And you have amazing, pretty new ships. We're going to talk one that isn't so new, but brand new because it just got renovated, and we're going to talk about that. But tell us a little bit, where is Ponant today? How many vessels, how many ships do you have?
Yeah, Ponant is 14 ships, including the Paul Gauguin, which is the destination expert of French Polynesia. Right. And as you referenced, we have multiple different classes of vessels. So you were just on board Le Ponant, which was our 3-mast sailing ship.
The original.
The original. Again, Ponant was founded by sailors in 1988, so we really have that DNA of sailor, admiration of the sea, and then most recently we have Le Commandant Charcot.
Which I have been lucky enough to be on as well, which is an amazing, it's your kind of flagship. Yeah. It's a real icebreaker. So that's the amazing part. So you go from Le Ponant, 3-masted sailing ship, which I was on just literally last week, to Commandant Charcot. And then you have these other classifications, Le Boreal class, and then the other one is the...
So Ponant was the beginning, then we go to the most recent, which was Le Charcot, and then we go backwards to our Explorer class. The Explorer class, which I think represents the newest, most modern fleet of 6 ships across the Explorer. So that's Le Below.
And that's the one with the underwater lounge.
Yeah, that's the one with the famous Blue Eye.
Blue Eye Lounge.
Blue Eye Lounge. And then we have our sister ships, which are slightly larger at 150 cabins or so.
No, they're all marvelous ships, and even Le Ponant, which I think is like 32 or 34 years old, but was just renovated a couple years ago. It looks absolutely brand new, and it's the only sailing vessel you have, right?
Yeah, 3-mast sailing vessel, and took it from 26 cabins to 13 cabins. And I'm jealous because I haven't been on board yet, and I'd love to get your feedback.
You should come along with it.
Yeah, absolutely. But what did you think? What was the experience like?
I thought it was amazing. I had been on it just for a quick tour before it was renovated, and actually you've reduced the capacity, so I think it's only like 32 guests now. It was at something like 50 or 60, I think, at one point. But you've a marvelous job of renovating the whole ship. It feels brand new.
Yeah, crew and really a unique service delivery.
Yeah, and then of course it is your only sailing ship, true sailing ship.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is, to me, just a great way to see and engage with the water.
And there's always ceremonies where you're watching the sails go up, and the crew's really into it. We sailed as much as we could, but it really was. I thought it was a marvelous experience. Now let's talk about Le Ponant. I mean, where is that going to be going now?
Le Ponant, the sailing ship?
Yeah.
Traditional yachting locale, so we are positioned in the Caribbean. I think you did a sailing in the Greek islands, if I believe.
Greek islands up to Croatia, yeah.
Yeah, Corsica, very famous for us with our French heritage, and then we'll take her to the Caribbean.
And she was actually, after I left, they were going to do the Croatian islands and this kind of thing. And then let's jump to Charcot, which is really, and I got to tell you, I was on Charcot right after it came out. And I always tell this story because I was talking to the captain. We were doing a video just like this, yep. And this is right after the christening. And he told me about the story about how they had gone with the expedition team and the crew to the North Pole. And I almost fell off my chair because nobody had told me about this. Yep. And they did it on their own, and they went up, and there was not much in the North Pole, and they had to go a mile or two because there was some ice. And then they were coming back from that, and in the distance they saw this black box or something, and they started sailing to it, and they came over the loudspeaker, "We're an American nuclear submarine, stay away." So that was it. So they did stay away, and that went. But I heard that story. I said, and then since you do revenue cruises to the North Pole, right?
Absolutely, and I think the Le Charcot is one of the best examples of how Ponant goes where no one else does. That ship is a technical marvel. PC2, there's only 4 ships in the world that have the level of autonomy that Le Charcot does, and really the only passenger ship, and really breaking through the ice, goes through up to 9 feet of ice.
Well, we were saying, and it goes backwards too, because it's amazing. And plus it has the only official Ducasse restaurant at sea, right?
Ducasse at sea, LNG as well, LNG, and it shows the innovation that Ponant brings. We actually built that ship without a reliable LNG pipeline, knowing that it would come. So the ice breaking, Ducasse at sea, it really speaks to the experiences that we deliver at Ponant that no one else can.
And that ship doesn't just sail the poles. I think I'm looking at maybe next year, maybe doing, I think it's going to be St. Lawrence Seaway, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That will be my first time on board.
We're going to do that before. We're going to do that together, okay?
Yeah, it's going to be...
We'll do that. We'll have another interview from the deck, okay?
Yeah, that will be a great sailing for us because, again, going where no one else does, we're very excited about going through the St. Lawrence. No cruise ship has been through the St. Lawrence during that time of year, December, January, February, for the obvious reason that it's frozen.
Okay, we're going to coordinate this. We're going to have to do this one night. That's the one I really want to do. But then let's turn to the other ship you mentioned, because you do oversee the Paul Gauguin brand, which is the one ship, and I've been lucky enough to do that. Not recently, but about 10 years ago, I did Paul Gauguin. It is a marvelous ship, and really is there's some wonderful ships sailing in Tahiti and French Polynesia, but you have the lock on that market, I got to tell you.
Absolutely. Paul Gauguin, Ponant acquired the company in 2019, is the bona fide French Polynesia destination expert. The ship has been purpose-built to be in French Polynesia. It doesn't leave French Polynesia, and as a result, we have over 20 years of goodwill with localities, destination knowledge, and really delivers this laid-back luxury experience in French Polynesia like none other.
Well, you know what I think you should do? You should go out there sailing one time, and then our friend Chris Pralog from Windstar, and you guys should have a race. How about that? I think it would be fun. You can race around Bora Bora. How about that?
Well, I got a good idea because we're bringing another ship into French Polynesia in 2026 with the Jacques Cartier. So this is where...
He's doing that too. So boy, what a competition. This is going to be fun. But you know what? They're small ships. There's plenty of places, and they're both wonderful ships. But you guys, I mean, that's the one I've sailed on. I have not sailed on Windstar there, but it would be wonderful. But having another ship there is going to be really great for you guys, right?
Yeah, I think it's going to really bring our brand positioning alive because, as I said, Paul Gauguin, destination expert, Tahitian overwater luxury villa experience, whereas with Ponant being in the Jacques Cartier being in the destination, we're going to be doing more expeditions throughout French Polynesia, more Marquesas, more expedition with
people think it's the Society Islands, which are the ones we all know, but to go up to the Marquesas, I think you might actually have one going to Fiji at some point, right?
Yeah, and it really shows that pioneering spirit we have of destination and exploration, but also with Paul Gauguin. So I'm excited because it's going to bring the positioning to life.
Well, that's it. You can do expedition in other parts of the world, we all think, because of, polar, but there's a lot more expedition to be doing. Now, what's kind of what are your other plans for Ponant at this point?
We continue to grow and we continue to innovate on the fleet and destination planning. And one of my key messages being new is the complexity of what Ponant delivers. As I said, over 460 different itineraries, 110 different destinations. So being new is nothing new to Ponant because we continuously open new markets, new destinations, new geographies. And we're really focusing on places where sailing via a small ship is usually better or different than the land adjacency. So think Iceland over 7 nights, think Indonesian archipelago. The Kimberley has been somewhere where we've been for decades.
It's really the new hot place, and you've already been there, so it's amazing. That's another place I'd like to go to someday. Now, what about the North American market? Because you're tasked here, its roots are as a French cruise line. Yes, there were a lot of wonderful French people on board my cruise. Practice my French. The food is great. Amazing, what's not to like? But you're tasked with growing the North American market, right?
Absolutely. Well, more than North American market, we just placed someone in Latin America. So the Americans.
So you're the Americas entirely, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think there's a great experience to share. We are a product that provides French flair and an international guest mix. So having different nationalities on board, I think draws a different, more sophisticated luxury traveler that wants to be more worldly, wants to be more connected with different cultures, different peoples, different nationalities.
Which is what's, being on a cruise is all about, especially in these kind of intimate situations with expedition cruising. So I really loved it. I got to practice my French and, my rusty French.
I'm doing the same.
Yeah, well, yeah. Do you speak French?
I have a French tutor and I'm actively learning, and I think that's very important.
Well, you and I, if we go on together, we're just going to speak French, okay? And we'll get it done, because I have a great accent, but people then start speaking a lot quicker, which is dangerous for me. But it was great to be on board. I got to tell you, we talked while I was on board, and I told you how great it was, and it really, and yeah, we were talking about connectivity issues, but there was wonderful connectivity. I got to tell you, when I finally got down, I was able to do everything on board, and you got so don't worry about that. You're a small ship, but you got all the technology. And Le Ponant is a high-tech sailing ship. They raise the sails by technology, but they are real sails. So it was an incredible experience. I'm so glad I did it. And at some point, as you said, we might hopefully come on down Charcot. Now, where can travel advisors go to learn more about Ponant and all the things you offer?
Yeah, our travel agency sales team is deployed throughout the country in the Americas. I'm here at Virtuoso Travel Week, and huge background and friend and supporter of the trade. So we're trying to be more accessible. We just launched a new travel agency portal. We're trying to make sure that, I call it from handshake to gangway, we're meeting the travel advisor and we're looking after their client through the entire booking experience. And really, I think that's how we're going to grow share, through great, deep relationships, a reminder that we have a very complex product, and that once we get their customer or passenger or guest on board, they can experience Ponant in so many different ways. And really, to me, it's just about the awareness and building those long-term relationships.
Which is why you need travel advisors to help you explain the product to their clients and tell them exactly what they're going to get. Now, the URL is what? It's Ponant.com, or I forget which one.
Yeah, Ponant.com is a good starting point of where we're based.
Okay,
yeah.
So, and you can go right to the English version from there, I know, when you do that.
Absolutely.
Sam, I want to thank you for taking the time here. We talked about doing online, but I was having too much fun, honestly. I didn't want to talk to you.
Yeah, you didn't
I didn't want to talk to you. Well, it's just I was busy. They had me doing excursions and all kinds of things. I could have done it, but then in the evening you got to eat. So, and then there's a little entertainment. There's all kinds. For a size ship, there's an awful lot to do on board. And actually, when you're on with the French, they like to stay up late. I was going up at like 11, 12 o'clock when many of the expedition ships I've been on are dead at that time.
Yep.
You're on with a French or international client base. They want to have fun and interact, and they did. They were all doing karaoke till about, I don't want to tell you. So it's a fun ship, so you got to try it out. Sam, again, thank you. Have a great rest of the conference here. It's been a great one, as always, at Virtuoso Travel Week, and we hope to see you soon. And we have to go on this ship, right?
Absolutely. Thanks, James. I really appreciate the time, and it's been a fun and busy week.
I'm James Shillinglaw here at Virtuoso Travel Week, and this is Insider Travel Report.